Okay, folks, wanted to show you a couple ways that you can point out things in your presentations without actually having to turn around and look at the screen. So, first off, I'm going to start with using an arrow just to highlight some stuff. I'm going to play this once so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, just moving an arrow from one spot to another. Very simple to implement. I'm going to go to the Insert, and I'm going to go to Shapes. I want to draw a block arrow facing down. I just draw it the way I want. I can make whatever shape I want. I am then going to right click on it, copy, right click again, paste. So now I've got two of them. And what I'm going to do is get rid of these two. I'm going to bring one of them down here, and I'm going to bring the other one down here. Oops, down here. Get them lined up the way I want them. And now I'm going to go to the Animations tab up here. And for this one right here, I want it to fade in. You want to use subtle effects wherever you can. And then right after that, I'm going to want it to fade out. Okay, next up, I click on this one and I want it to fade in. So now I've got, and it didn't work for me. I need to also put, for some reason it didn't take the fade there. Oh, I know I did wrong. I want to add an animation. That's what I did wrong. So now I've got an extra fade in there, and I need to move this one up to the top. Okay, I want this one here to start with the previous one. So I only have to click the mouse one time to get the whole thing. I'm going to highlight them all. I'm going to go to timing, and I'm going to change the duration. I go 3 seconds, or I could just type in, say, 4 for 4 seconds. Click OK. And so now if I go up to here, play selected, first one appears. Okay, it's going to begin to fade as the second one comes in. Pretty simple. Let me jump down here. Kind of similar thing. If you want to highlight data in a table, you might go to something like this. Pretty simple, straightforward thing to do. And go down to another one here, and I'm going to take all these out. Basically, we're doing the same thing as we did before, only with reptiles, only with rectangles. So if I go back to Insert, this time I'm going to insert I'm going to use the box here, and I'm going to highlight right here. Again, you could copy and paste. Now, if I let go, you can't see anything, right? So what I need to do is right-click here, and I want to format the shape, and I want to adjust the transparency here till it's where I want. Okay, you could also probably do a gradient there, and then you have to adjust the transparency again to get the effect that you want. And then you can play around all kinds of things on the gradient. You can make that light blue, something like that. But in any event, those are the kinds of things you could do. Okay, once I've got everything where I want it, I'm back to the animation pane. And let me close this out, give myself a little more room. Animations, animation pane. Okay, I'm going to click this one. I'm going to have it fade in. Okay, then I'm going to add animation, have it fade out. I'm going to click on this one, fade in, add animation, fade out. Click on this one, fade in, and then fade out. And I think before what I did was I did a different one. So let me redo this one again. I'm going to add an animation, and I'm going to go with, let's see here. Lost track of it. Oh, fly in. Okay. And then that would be another possibility that I could do. And again, I want to do each of these, this one here and this one here. I want to have both of those start with the previous one. So I'll start with the fade of the other one. And if I highlight them all, I could go in here, for instance, and I could drag that out, and I could maybe make these a little bit different in terms of length and stuff like that, or I could just change the timeline altogether. So that one comes in, that one comes in, the other one fades out, and that one comes up from the bottom. And I think with the effect options, you could go direction. You could bring it in from a different direction if you wanted, like that. Okay. I think there's also a way to adjust where it comes in from, so it doesn't come in from the bottom. This is a really neat one, the moving dot. Okay. The two dots begin to roll, and they go out to the end, and then the bottom one bounces back. Okay, so to do this, first step is we need a dot. Insert, shapes, circle, and we can make it whatever color we want. We could actually, go in and format it however we want it. Once you have your dot where you want it, you click on it, go back to animations, and now we are going to use a custom path. We click where it starts, and then we just click every point we want it to go. Okay. And then you could do something funky, like bring it up to here, and I'm going to double click there to end it. Now, if you don't like the way that worked, and maybe I want to end it over here, one of the things you can do is go to Effect Options. You can edit the points, and I could grab this point and I could move it over to there. And maybe I want to put a little bump in here, so I could add that there, and maybe kind of stretch that out a little bit, make it more of a loop. Something weird like that. Okay, the other thing you might want to do is look at the effect options. The smooth start and smooth end, that's what slows it down at the beginning and the end. You could even put a sound in there. I really don't think you want to do that. But in any event, click OK. And there you go. Okay, so that is adding a moving dot. This one's a little bit complicated. Whoops, I got the wrong thing up there. That's okay. Rather than reconstruct it, I'm going to play it. It's going to put a dot in various places, okay, and do all that kind of stuff. Puts an arrow in and puts in a text box. So what you're looking at here, I drew a dot here. That's one. I drew another dot here, another dot there. I drew a line here, that's a straight connector, 5, and the other one, straight connector up here, that's 6. The up down arrow, that is 7. The text box itself is 8, and then I have two other animations here, 9 and 10, about that wiggling around stuff. So there's two different types of emphasis that I have in there. Okay, so that's all there was to it. And again, you can change the rates of those different things, but you just draw the things on the page, and you you just highlight, which ones. And you can see here, if I hover, you can see I'm going to have to click to do all of these. Okay, if I was actually doing the presentation, I would have to click all of these to get it to go. So I'd have to go click, 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 which you might, many times that's what you're going to want to do. So that's what you do to do that. And let me show you another one that I thought of a little bit later. I'm going to change this a little bit, and I'm just going to put like drawing. Let's say you've got a particular word that you want to highlight, okay? And I could put get in here, drawing boxes and stuff. And let's say that for some reason I thought that the word boxes was really important. What I do is I'm going to highlight boxes here, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it in. Oops, where'd it go? Oh, there it is down there. And I need to get the size right. So this one was 24, so I need to get this one 24. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to change the color of the text here to make it red, and I'm going to drag it up and I'm going to put it directly over the boxes. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, let me get rid of all these other things here. I'm just going to play with this thing here. So I've got the boxes here. I'm going to click on that and go back to my animations, and I'm going to have it just appear, so a slightly different one. And then I'm going to maybe cause it, let's see, what's another one that we can do here? Add animation. We could do a color pulse. We could do brush color, grow, shrink. Let's see, bold flash. There we go. Okay, so a couple different things we could do. And one other thing, I also want to add to this one. I want to add animation. I want it to fade, and I want that at the end. So if I go up to here, what it's going to do, it turns it red, it flashes it once, and then it fades it out. And for this flashing thing, again, we could go to the effect options and go with timing, and you could tell it to repeat 4 times, say, and maybe make it a little bit longer, and say okay, and then it will fade out. Probably a little bit too long. Okay. So the final ones are the zooms. For the zooms, what you need to be able to do, let me play that one. Okay, that's the idea. You want to zoom in on part of a graph or something else that you're looking at. So we'll go to this one here, and I'm going to get rid of these. So what you do is you do a screen capture, or in Excel you blow up a certain part of the graph and you capture that and you paste it in as best you can directly over top of what you want to do. And if you can't see what's going on, you can right click, you could format the picture, and you could go in and whoops, there, and you could adjust the transparency so you can see what's going on underneath. Just leave the transparency there. And so here I am, I got my box, and now I want to go back to animate. Whoops, click on that. And I want to go to animations, and what I want to do is I want to add an animation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a fade, and then I'm going to do another move, and this time I'm going to use a turn. Okay, now that's turning the wrong way, so I need to go to effect options. I need to go to an up one, and if I don't like where it's parking it at the end, I go back to effect options, edit the points, and maybe whoops, it keeps doing that to me. I go in and effect options, edit the points, make sure you're on this thing here, and maybe I want to come over here a little bit and maybe move this over a little bit like that, and then fades in and moves up. You could also have it doing this with the previous and stretch out the fade a little bit, start there, and it'd go like that. And you could put, you know, a box around this thing. You could have a, you know, you could put reflection, glow, something like that on it. Again, what I want here. The line, you could make a solid line around it. Maybe make it a little bit wider. And then when you go back to your animations, maybe something like that. Okay, one more, same basic principle, and just has something that enlarges and moves up to emphasize something that's on the screen. So that's all I got for you. Hope it's useful. There's lots of other things you can do. Use your imagination, but be subtle. And remember, the idea is to avoid you distracting the audience by turning to the screen. So don't distract them with really flashy, noisy effects. Okay, that's it.